Top 1% don't let feelings run the show. They lead with discipline. They train their minds to act based on decisions, not moods. They understand that greatness comes from doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. They separate what they feel from what they must do. That's how they build consistency. That's how they build strength. You might have been told to just be grateful for what you have and not want more. And yes, gratitude matters. But the top 1% balance gratitude with hunger. They're thankful for what they have, but they're still reaching, still building, still aiming higher. They don't settle just because they're better off than others. They keep growing, not from lack of contentment, but from a deep desire to use their full potential. So here's the truth. If you want to rise, you've got to question what you were taught. You've got to look at the beliefs you were handed and ask, do these ideas create the life I really want? If they don't, you've got to be willing to replace them. You've got to stop listening to average minds and start building an uncommon one. You've got to stop fearing what people think and start trusting your own growth. You've got to stop playing small and start thinking like someone who wants more, not just for the sake of more, but for the sake of impact, strength, and freedom. Most people were raised with a mindset designed to survive. The top 1% rewire themselves with a mindset designed to win. And it all starts when you're willing to look at everything you were taught about success and ask yourself one honest question. Does this actually serve the life I want? If not, it's time to think again. Because thinking differently is not a luxury. It's the first step to real change. Chapter 2. Act like nobody will ever come save you. If you really want to change your life, you need to accept one thing early. No one is coming to rescue you. Nobody's going to show up one day with all the answers, all the motivation, and all the resources you need. The truth is, you are the only one responsible for how your life turns out. The faster you understand this, the sooner you stop waiting and start building. Too many people spend their lives waiting. They wait for the right time. They wait for the right person. They wait for help. They wait for approval. They wait for motivation to magically appear. But that kind of waiting leads to nothing but regret. Days go by, then weeks, then months, then years. And by the time they finally realize no one's coming, they've already wasted too much time. The top 1% never wait for someone to come fix things for them. They don't expect anyone to carry them, push them, or save them. They wake up every day with one mindset. If it's going to happen, it has to start with me. That's not negativity. That's ownership. That's power. That's real strength. It means you've stopped handing your life over to outside forces and started pulling it back into your own hands. You may have grown up hoping someone would understand your struggles and step in to help you. Maybe you thought your boss would notice your efforts and promote you, or your family would support you once you found your passion, or your friends would push you to chase your dream. But most people are focused on their own lives. They're not sitting around thinking about how to change yours. And it's not because they're bad, it's just reality. You have to care about your life more than anyone else ever will. And you can. You can care enough to get up early even when no one tells you to. You can push yourself when nobody is watching. You can study, grow, improve and evolve because you've made the decision to become something more. Not for applause, not for validation, but because it's your job. It's your duty. It's your responsibility. People want freedom, they want control, they want success. But all of those things come with a price. And the first price is giving up the fantasy that someone will hand it to you. Nobody owes you anything. Life doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards action, consistency, courage. The kind of effort that starts when you stop asking for permission and start building your own path. There's something deeply powerful that happens when you stop looking around for help and start looking within. You realize you have more power than you ever gave yourself credit for. You start seeing solutions where others see problems. You stop blaming and start building. You stop doubting and start doing. It's not about being alone. It's about being responsible. It's about knowing that even when people love you, they can't do the work for you. They can't carry your discipline. They can't force your habits. They can't climb the mountain you were born to climb. Only you can do that. The top 1% don't walk around looking for someone to believe in them. They decide to believe in themselves, even when no one else does. They don't sit around hoping things get easier. They make themselves stronger. They don't make excuses for why they can't. They keep working until they can. Most people are raised to believe in help. And sure, help is good when it comes. But help is not something to rely on. Help can't be your foundation, because help isn't always there. You might be in a place right now where no one understands your goals, where people around you are comfortable staying the same, where no one pushes you to be better. That's not a reason to stop. That's your signal to take over. When you rely on others to save you, you stay small, you stay dependent, and deep down, you know it. You feel stuck because you're still waiting for something to happen to you instead of deciding that you're going to happen to life. The moment you stop expecting someone to show up and fix your situation is the same moment you take your power back. This doesn't mean you have to do everything perfectly. It just means you have to own everything completely. If something is holding you back, change it. If something isn't working, adjust it. If you're not where you want to be, admit it and start doing something about it. You don't have to blame yourself, but you do have to hold yourself accountable. Because the second you do, everything becomes possible. People might say you've changed, and you know what? You should. You should become